So at this time, the length of the sleeve I'm working with is 8 inches. So I marked out 8 inches this way, and I marked out another 8 inches like this. So I connected it. This is to help me to get the midpoints that I want to mark this heart on. So I marked it on both sides, and I came to the midpoint. I then marked the midpoint like this. I came to the bottom part and I also marked the midpoint. So the next thing I did was to mark 1.5 from this midpoint. I marked 1.5 on both sides. So I connected like this. Now connect it like this. So you see, so after marking it out like this, try to see if it is the same. You can see that this side is more curvy than this side, so I'm trying to curve it to be the same thing. So now I'll cut out. So this is how it looks like. So at this time, what I will do is to measure it round. I'll take the measurement round from this tip here. I marked it round. So what I got was 22.25 inches. So I'll bring my pattern paper and mark that 22.25 inches. So I marked 3.5 inches. I marked 3.5 inches, and at this time I'll connect the straight line. So now I'll cut it out. At this time, I marked 4 inches upward and connect it down to the edge of the brown paper. So at this time, you see me doing. So you can also do yours the same way too. So you can see that I'm done cutting it, and so the next thing I did was to bring the heart shape and place it together the way you are seeing it, to make sure that it's aligned. So you can see that it's really aligned very well. So now we're going to cut the third piece that we're going to join to it, which is going to form the last, or the part that we're going to attach to the sleeve, to the shoulder. So now we're going to cut the last part. As you can see, I fold my brown paper into two, and I'm going to mark 9 inches. So I'll mark 9 inches for the longness, and I'm going to mark 3 inches for the width. So I'm going to mark 3 inches for the width, just the way you are seeing me doing. I'll mark it and I'll connect the lines. Okay, so if you have watched this video to this extent, thank you so much for watching. In case you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and get more updates each time we upload new videos. So at this time, I'm marking 5 inches inward. That is going to serve as the part we're going to attach to the sleeve, and I'm connecting it to the 9 inches point I marked earlier. So at the end of the day, this part that I marked 5 inches, you are going to either place it or gather it on your shoulder line. So you can see how I'm cutting it. I'm going to show you how we'll sew it too. So I notched the up and the down part. So you can see this is the second piece that I've cut already, and I'm notching it also. So I'll place it this way. I'll also notch the down part. Make sure you notch everything, the midpoint, because you're going to be working with the midpoint to midpoint in all your sewing. So you can see how it looks. You can see how it looks like. By the time you are done sewing it on your fabric, it's going to be very nice. So at this time, so you can see the heart shape, and this is how it's going to be. I'm going to place this second piece on it like this. I'm going to take this third piece and place it on top of the second piece, just the way you are seeing it. So right now we're going to cut it on the main fabric, and we're going to cut it 2-2. So that is how you are going to either pleat it or gather it. So let's cut the main fabric. So you can see this is the fabric. I'm going to cut it 2-2, 2 for one hand, 2 to one hand, which is going to form 4 altogether. Why? Is because one is going to serve as the lining. So this is me cutting the second piece of it. So this is the last piece, the third piece that we're going to attach to the shoulder. So I'm cutting it as well. And so this is the line, both the lining and the main fabric. I'm going to combine it, both the gold and the lilac. So you can see I've ironed my gum stay to it, so make sure you iron your gum stay to both your lining and the main fabric. So you can see that I've sewn the first two, that is this one and this one. I've sewn it. This is the outcome of it. So I'll turn it inside out now, and we'll make sure to iron it properly. Iron it properly so that the lines will be smooth. So I'll take the third one and sew on this one. I'll take the midpoint of this one and sew it, and take it to the midpoint like this. So I'll sew it round. This is the part that I'm going to attach to the shoulder part. This is the shoulder part, and this is the down part of it that I measured 9 inches. So this part that I measured 9 inches is where I'm going to attach to this one like this. So midpoint to midpoint, and I'm going to sew it round before I'll take the lining and sew. So I will show you the outcome. And so I'm done sewing the first sleeve. So you can see how it looks. I'm going to iron it when I'm done sewing the second one. So for this particular, this third one, you can go ahead and gather it to your shoulder. You can go ahead and gather it like this, so it will be this way. This is how it's going to look like. For this part here, I'm going to trim it so that it will align with this third one. I'm going to trim it like this. Hope you can see. Trim it like this. Then I'll also trim this other side as well. So for this part here, I want to trim it because I don't want this point edge here, so I will trim it like this to be like this. So you see how I've trimmed it. Then when I'll attach it to the shoulder, I'll just gather it. So gather it. It will now look like this. Then you can decide to add those beads to it. So for the second sleeve, let me show you in detail how I really made the first one. So you see this heart shape. I took this second one, the second layer that we're going to attach. You see this part of it that is straight. I notched the center point, and I also notched the center point of the heart shape too. So I used the center point to meet with the center point this way, and I sew it round on both sides. That was how I shaped that first one. Then the last one, which is the third one, I'll also show you how I will attach it to it when I'm done sewing the second one. So as you can see, I'm done joining this other part. See it, and I've ironed my same line. So this is how it looks like. So the next thing I'll be doing is to attach this third one. So like I said, this part that is longer, this longer part is where you are going to attach to this second one. So you are going to notch it. You are going to notch the middle part. So when you are done notching it, you place it midpoint to midpoint and stitch it round. Then after that, you sew the lining and turn it inside out. So this is the sleeve, and this one is the lining for it. If you have enough gum stay, you should iron gum stay to your lining as well. But for me, I did not have enough gum stay, so I did not iron gum stay to the lining. So right now, I'm going to turn it inside out and place it front facing, that is the right side facing the right side of the, you can see how I'm doing it. I'll do it this way. So I'll start sewing from this tip here. I'll start sewing from here and sew it round. I'll sew it to somewhere here on the shoulder part, and I'll come to this other side and sew it to somewhere, that is, I'll leave about 5 inches open or 4 inches open that I'll use to turn it on the shoulder part. So when I'm done, I'm going to show you the outcome. Okay, so now I'm done lining it. I'm done putting the lining on it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to close this opening that I used to turn it out. So I'll close it and iron it. So I'll do the same thing to the both sides, and then the sleeve is ready. So you can see the end result of the sleeve. You can see this is how it looks like. So you can decide to add embellishment to your own, and you can also decide to use only doll face to make this part that I used George fabric for. So you can add beadings, you can add stones to embellish yours. And you can see this third layer that I pleat here. This is the part that you can tack to your shoulder. You tack this point, you tack this part to your shoulder. When you tack it to your shoulder, it will be there, or you can sew it with your sewing machine on your shoulder. So this is the part that will stay on your shoulder. If you don't want to pleat it, you can gather it, and to give you that same effect that you want. But the basic thing is that you should add an what is it called again, this gum stay to it, so that it will stand to hold itself. And also remember to iron it so that it will be neat. So you see how beautiful the sleeve looks. So this sleeve is basically for this tutorial. That is why you see that I didn't attach it to any dress. It's basically for this tutorial. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe, share it so that others can also learn from it. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.